Thanks for coming. I want to start off by offering our condolence to Boston and friends and family of the victims in Boston. You know, earlier today, as you know, we had an incident on 55th at one of our rapid stations. It turned out not to be any nature that we should be concerned about, but it does demonstrate our heightened level of attention that we're paying to things at this point. And to that end, we have come together today and brought our partners so that they can communicate to you and to the public what actions we are taking in Cleveland to ensure the security of Cleveland and its citizens. So I'd first like to introduce our Police Chief, Michael McRae.
Mayor, thank you. The Division of Police would also like to express our condolences to the victims, families, friends, the Boston community, and also the Boston Police Department, all the first responders there, fire, rescue, etc. They did an outstanding job under very, very difficult circumstances. That tragic event prompts concerns about safety and homeland security, and we understand that thoroughly. And although there is no known threat to this area at this time, we have plans in place should one occur. For the past 5 years, we have worked with partnering agencies in Northeast Ohio relative to our Fusion Center. And number one, planning starts with intelligence. That's what makes our Fusion Center so important. That's why we established it 5 years ago for these particular type of scenarios. In the Fusion Center, we have crime intelligence analysis who are constantly collecting and reviewing crime data, and this allows us to revise security plans already in place. The director will talk more in connection with the Fusion Center in a few moments. The Division of Police in Cleveland has security plans for all major events that happen here. We have this year, last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, and we keep revising those plans. We have plans for the St. Patrick's Day Parade. We have plans for the 4th of July, and we have security plans currently in place for the Rite Aid Marathon coming to Cleveland in May. We have security. There would be security templates in place, which we can review and deploy with. We know our resources, where they are, and how to deploy them. We review our plans following each event to see if there are ways to make them more effective. Further, we are in regular contact with our partners at the federal, the state, the county, and local level. In addition to the existing security templates, our officers undergo regular training specific to responding to large-scale events. This training includes suspicious activity reporting, rapid action immediate deployment training, active shooter training, tactical training, training in weapons of mass destruction, ambush training, field force training, and homeland security training. We work very hard to ensure that our officers have trained and the resources are available to them so that we can respond to an incident quickly and effectively. At this time, I'd like to ask the director of the Fusion Center to come to the podium, and he will elaborate a little more on what they do and how they provide this community with the intelligence so that we can deploy officers appropriately. Director?
Thank you, Chief. My name is Bill Schenkelberg. I'm the current director of the Northeast Ohio Regional Fusion Center. And I first want to say the same sentiments about what happened in Boston. I retired federally out of Boston and know quite a few of the people that were the first responders. So I have a special place in my heart back in Boston. They did an outstanding job there. A little bit about the Fusion Center. We're strictly support to law enforcement. We're there to help them with collecting, gathering, analyzing, and then disseminating information. Our primary role during this event is to basically push the information along. We're in direct communication with DHS and FBI, who are our biggest partners. Yesterday, we sent numerous messages over to the Cleveland Police Department, the Sheriff's Department, and all our 65 partners within the Northeast Ohio area. What our four critical operating capabilities are just that: to gather, collect, receive, and then analyze and disseminate, and that's what we've been doing here. With that, I want to pass kind of what we do, and that's in direct communication and constant collaboration with the FBI, and I want to introduce Special Agent in Charge Steve Anthony for the Cleveland office of the FBI. I'll pass it to him because they're the lead federal agency in this investigation.
Thank you. Thank you, Bill. Good afternoon, everyone. I know it's been said already, but I too want to just express the condolences to the victims of yesterday's senseless and violent act. I exchanged messages with the agent in charge earlier today, and as he said publicly, I know that the authorities in Boston will work not just in Boston, around the United States and around the world to hold accountable those that committed the despicable acts yesterday. I just want to personally thank the mayor, the chief, the sheriff, the public safety director, and Bill and others again for their leadership, being on the front lines of protecting our city, our community 24/7. They've been doing it for years, and they do an outstanding job. And we value their partnership more than you can imagine. I just want to make clear, and it's obvious, but the collective goal of all of us up here is to prevent acts of terror before they occur. It's the number one priority of all of us up here. And we do that through partnerships, collaboration, and timely information sharing, which you heard from both the chief and Director Schlenkenberg. To fulfill that mission, right, all of us, we have to be predictive. We have to provide all of the decision makers in our community with a picture, a common operating picture of what the threats are in our community, and again, what are the tactics, techniques, and procedures being undertaken by those that would do us harm. And we do that every day, both formally and informally. And of course, to do that, we have and have had here for some time, among the other resources that are here, a Joint Terrorism Task Force. It's made up of the agencies right here for the very purpose to share information, to work together, to collaborate, to partnership, and to prevent these acts from occurring, and God forbid, if they do occur, to provide the response that the citizens of our community expect and to leave no stone unturned. Just the individuals up here too, not just do all the agencies here, state, federal, and local, provide officers in the task force to work together every day and to share information, but the executives and individuals here participate on a board that meets regularly to discuss these very issues. Again, how do we be preventative? How do we posture our city to have the best chance possible to prevent those that would do us harm from being successful? So again, as Director Schlenkenberg mentioned, no lead goes unturned. It's been that way since 9/11. It's going to continue. And to do that, none of us could be successful here unless we have community involvement. I don't care whether you're talking fugitives, violent crime, a homicide, or terrorism. It's community being involved, paying attention, willing to provide the information, whether to the Fusion Center, to the police, the FBI, it doesn't matter. Because when the information comes in, we have the established relationships and the work history to share that information seamlessly and to go out there and to get the job done. So again, I just want to thank you all, and just again, rest assured that, and I think it's been proven through various events, whether it be the anarchists and the bridge or whatever the case may be, that we are on the same page, and we're going to work together, and we're going to do the best we can to protect our city. Thank you. And now I'm going to introduce Deputy Chief Tom. Okay, sorry.
No, that's okay. DC Tombaugh, Deputy Chief Tombaugh, is going to come to the podium, and he's going to bring to you some of the support that we bring to this partnership that the special agent just addressed. Ed, I know you're here.
I'm right here, Chief.
Thank you.
Thanks. On the local level, I just explained a few things that took place over yesterday and that will take place further. Last night we had an event downtown at the Q Arena. We had some extra patrols, and we had our canine bomb-sniffing dogs out there checking receptacles and providing special attention over in the area of the Q Arena. Tonight, there's a Indians game. We're gonna have that same type of resources out there working prior to the ball game. We have, under my authority, through the chief of police, we have our intelligence unit, and we work very closely with the Fusion Center. So they're constantly addressing any information that comes in, any intelligence, they gather it, and they check the intelligence to see how good it is, and then we pass that information along to our partners within the JTTF. Our officer assigned over there is assigned to our intelligence unit. Also, I want to discuss briefly today the incident at 55th Street that took place. That was an incident where a dog assigned to the Regional Transit Authority police hit on a package. The bomb squad was called out along with the FBI and the ATF. It was a coordinated response. We had probably 30 to 35 officers on the ground immediately over there. The package was secured, and it was personal belongings in case that hasn't been discussed with anybody. So now we're just in the interview process and the debriefing process of that. Vigilance and preparedness is the #1 goal set forth by the Department of Homeland Security. We have been planning a full-scale exercise over at Progressive Field along with the Indians and some of our federal partners and local partners, and that is going to continue and that is going to go forward next week. We've been in the planning stages for over 6 months. This isn't something that we just thought about after yesterday's incident. We've had a tabletop exercise. It's part of a performance measure and a performance goal that is set forth by the Chief of Police through my office and the Department of Homeland Security. So that will take place on Tuesday, and we will exercise our preparedness. We will be graded on it, and we will debrief after to see exactly how well we did on that exercise. At this time, one of the commanders under the Bureau of Homeland Services is Commander Harold Patel, and he's going to provide you with some information regarding vigilance and what to look for in the event that somebody sees something that isn't that's a little out of place. So, Commander.
Good afternoon, everyone. I also like to extend my condolences and certainly my sentiments to our partners and our friends in Boston. I'd like to reiterate some of the things already said about partnership. Our local partners, the FBI, the Sheriff's Office, the RTA Police, the Downtown Cleveland Alliance, the Highway Patrol, and our many other partners that support our mission. And our mission here, obviously, is to protect and respond to anything that may occur. I'd like to also mention that we've engaged in a number of exercises, a number of pre-planned events. As you recall, last year we had Navy Week, Marine Week, the opening of the casino, a series of events which allowed us to practice our protective posture and try to refine our protective posture. And I'm here to tell you that we are well prepared to hopefully detect and disrupt, and if not, respond to any incident. Along that, our biggest component here, beyond our partners already mentioned, certainly FBI, ATF, Sheriff's Office, RTA Police, TSA, DHS, would be our community, probably our greatest partners. There are more members of the community than there are all of us that are in law enforcement and public safety. So along with that, I'd like to ask you to please, if you see something, say something. It's an old adage, it's a catchy phrase, but it's true. You see something, let us know, let someone know. And it's not just dial 911. If it's something that's an emergency, dial 911. If it's something that requires some attention, any of our partners is the excellent conduit to shoot that information up to us, up to the Fusion Center, up to police dispatch. Whether it's an ambassador from Downtown Cleveland Alliance, a deputy sheriff, whether it's an RTA police officer or a Cleveland police officer, let someone know something doesn't look right. Particularly if you're at an event, whether it's a game or a race. We've all been to many of those, and we know that what they should look like. If something doesn't look right, let us know, we'll investigate it. Also, you can download, the RTA has a program called iWatch. iWatch RTA, I as an iPhone, iWatch RTA. Download the app, it's a free app. It allows you to communicate any information also, and it will also be vetted, and it will be sent to the appropriate investigative agency. You can also call the Fusion Center. It's 1-877-OHS-INTEL. 1-877-OHS-INTEL, which is 1-877-647-4683. 4683. I'd like to ask our partners in the public to make us aware of anything so we can assist Want to reassure you once again, we are well prepared. We've done many drills, many exercises, like Deputy Chief Tamba mentioned, and also we've had some real-world training, not only with pre-planned events, but also with events which kind of happen, sort of like today. Again, that's a testament to our preparedness, and also want to ask the public to have a little personal preparedness also. With your family, discuss evacuation plans, meeting places, alternate places to contact each other, whether it's a family member outside of town. Be mindful that in an event, even a big game, sometimes cellular service may be spotty, so text normally works a little better. Keep that in mind. Just a quick text reassuring family members that you're okay can certainly make people feel a little better and lower the tidal wave here a little bit. So with that, thank you very much, and I look forward to a great week here.
Is there any questions?
Chief, can you tell us basically what folks, let's say visitors to downtown, the difference that they will see, for instance, if they're going to the Indians game?
Well, this evening, they'll see more police officers detailed out there. But let me say this also, what we're doing this evening, I'm only going to give you a for example. Say, for example, you have the Yankees coming in on a weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. You'd see the same security then. If the orchestra was doing a concert at Public Square, you'd see the same infrastructure built into it as far as security goes. So as they come to the Boston series, tonight, tomorrow, and the next night, you will see additional police officers downtown.
What about the dogs? Would they normally be there, or is this in response to what happened yesterday?
That's one of the components that we have built into our security plans. For example, I'll give you another for example. It's so much easier. St. Patrick's Day. Do we sweep the route with the dogs? Yes. Do we go online with the Emergency Operations Center to monitor cameras? Yes. Are we partnered with the FBI and the Sheriff's Department and everything relative to St. Patrick's Day? Yes. 4th of July, same thing. We have these security plans in place. Do we tweak them from year to year? Absolutely, depending on the intelligence we get from where? In Fusion Center.
The Cleveland Marathon is a month away. Are there any plans to change security or up security based on what happened yesterday in Boston?
Currently, we have a security plan for the Cleveland Marathon. Depending on the information that we receive from the FBI through the Fusion Center, we may tweak those plans depending on the intelligence that we receive. So in other words, we probably will change it somewhat a little bit, but that's yet to be determined.
Tracy Carter? Chief, there's a lot that you all do that the public doesn't see as well year-round, right?
That is correct.
Can you give any examples of what, of what it is that you all do and how you work kind of behind the scenes?
Well, I don't mean to be frivolous here because this is really important stuff. It really is. Let me say this, that we have millions of people that come to downtown Cleveland, and very rarely do you hear about an incident. And there's reasons for that. That's because we're out there in a uniform capacity, in an undercover capacity, trying to address these issues and trying to be preventive of something happening. 4th of July, for example, and I hope I don't jinx us this year, but for the last 8-10 years, we have hundreds of thousands of people coming into town on July 4th. Very rarely do we have an incident. So yes, we always have something in place. We can't put it up there on a bulletin board, this is what we're doing, obviously, but we have a plan for every weekend and for every special event that takes place here in the city of Cleveland.
Ed Galley?
Chief, just a quick question about the dogs there. But how many bomb dogs do you have, and how are they used throughout the year, aside from these special events or maybe follow-ups to terrorist attacks?
We have 8 canine dogs. 6 of those dogs are bomb dogs. 3 of them are detailed to the airport, and then 3 are detailed out of the canine unit, which falls under Homeland Security, which falls under Commander Patel. He could be more specific as how he details those dogs on a daily basis, and I'll defer to him. Commander?
Our canine units are broken down, as the chief mentioned, into TSA dogs, which is a part of the federal program. They patrol primarily at the airport. If we have a major event which has a transportation nexus, we can use those dogs for as an additional resource. Our other bomb squad dogs, which are assigned to the regular Cleveland Police Canine Unit, are deployed on irregular patrols, not only to downtown, but to any other venues. And there's a resource we use for major events. As an example, St. Patrick's Day Parade, the Law Enforcement Memorial Parade. We use those dogs to sweep the routes and protect us in that fashion.
Are they used sometimes for just generically, checking like Playhouse Square or Public Square or West Side Market just because it's a Tuesday and we feel like we probably ought to check because we haven't checked it lately, that kind of thing?
Yes, sir, they are. That's part of the irregular patrol I mentioned. Not only are they bomb dogs, but they're also dual trains, they're patrol dogs. But yes, that's the irregular patrol, we use them. You never know, we might find something, and if we have them out and about, we may as well go ahead and deploy them.
Chief, you'll have to say
You know,
what the
I just
dogs-
want to add up, Ed, we also have a great partnership with RTA and the Sheriff's Department with their K-9 units. We work as a partnership together, and they definitely provide additional resources as far as K-9.
Michael
Are you
Baldwin?
allowed to say what the dog hit on East 55th Street?
You know, I do not have that information. That would be a question you'd have to pose to the RTA Police Department.
A follow-up question, are you be asking people maybe to leave their backpacks at home when the marathon comes through?
You know, that's an excellent question, and that's to be determined. I'm sure that once we receive additional information from the FBI, because they're spearheading the investigation in Boston, it comes to our Fusion Center. That's one variable that we'll be looking at as far as backpacks and access to certain areas during the Revco Marathon.
Any other questions?
Chief, some of the extremist websites have encouraged their followers to go to American sporting events and exactly what happened unfolded yesterday. Specifically, will there be any changes in searches, let's say, at Indians games or, when the Browns start up?
Jack, that would be determined by the information we receive out of the Fusion Center. You know, if we have any inclination that there's going to be a problem, yes, we'll change some security measures as far as how people enter. Right now, they have a pretty good process when you enter the different facilities here in Cleveland, the Q and Progressive Field and Brown Stadium. But we may have to up that. That's, like I said, once again, to be determined as to the information we will receive over the next